So I was reflecting on the time I went to Rockport with some friends from work to do some disaster relief. And I was reminded of this story of this older couple that had decided to just ride the storm out in their house. They get all their animals, their pets, inside their house, and the man goes out to close the gate. Why? I don't really know why he wanted to close the gate. But he sees this horse come up. And so he's like, okay, well, I gotta do something for this horse. So he eventually closes the gate, gets the horse up on their covered porch, and then they just go inside and ride out the storm. Well, as they're telling us about all this, he points out that after the storm, there were a whole bunch of trees around their house that had been laid down in a circle, almost a perfect circle around their house. And that was odd. And we noticed, like, yeah, all the trees were twisted in a counterclockwise fashion around their house. Only one or two limbs, small limbs, had actually hit the house and done very minor damage to the house itself. Like, that's odd. What natural phenomenon could push a tree over? A hurricane. Well, Hurricane Harvey had come through that area, the giant storm, but it didn't exactly push trees over. It picked trees up and moved them. It destroyed houses, leveling them to the ground, and picking up boats and houses and cars and throwing them all about. There was this one boat yard. There's like a 4-story boat storage place on the coast. It's talking about Rockport, Texas here. And it had wiped out half the building. Boats were falling off the building, had been pulled out of their storage. These are like $80,000 boats or more. And so the destruction of the hurricane was huge. Lots of death. Well, I don't know if there's a whole lot of death. Lots and lots of destruction. Trees everywhere, ripped out the ground. And I thought, what could exist inside of a hurricane that might push trees over? A tornado. A tornado can exist inside of a hurricane. But this tornado happened to be just the right size to lay all the trees down around the house. Like, that's interesting. I was like, that's pretty neat. Somebody might be watching out for them. Probably God. Well, that's cool. God was watching out for that couple and all those pets, almost like an ark. And then I thought, wait a second, it's not just the tornado not destroying the house, because if it had moved along the ground, it would have wiped their house out or damaged their house more. So the tornado had to have set down on top of their house. Interesting circumstance. So not only did the tornado set down perfectly on top of their house, so as to not damage the house, but only stuff around it, well, what would have been in the tornado? Debris, other solid things, some of the trees that got ripped out of the ground. So there would have been solid things in a really strong wind protecting the house from the rest of the storm for however long that tornado was there. No one really knows. They just said that everything was shaking because there was a lot of wind. So while the storm was raging on, God sent a tornado to protect this couple from the storm. A lot of times in life, it may seem like life is crazy and there's a lot of stressful, bad things going on around us, but I don't always stop to realize He might be protecting you from a lot more, from the battle that's raging on for your heart. So be grateful today for the small things that God puts in our life. Even if they seem hectic, He might be protecting us from much, much more. Have a great day.